Hello everyone and welcome to another Wizard 101 video. Today I'm going to be doing an opinion piece, a video putting on the internet talking about a certain feature of Wizard 101 that has gotten some love, some hate, mostly hate, and I'm throwing in my 2 cents to the debate. I don't want to just pile on the hate, but I feel like this feature is very annoying as it currently is. So let's talk about that. Good mythical morning, apparently I am now. So, obviously, you might have known by context clues that the feature I am currently talking about is spell writing, spellements. Now, why are spellements a problem, you may ask? Well, because they are the most pay-to-win bullshit that KingsIsle has ever released in their game. They have made that, they have made it so that to upgrade a spell, to make it more powerful, right, like this, you know, you can see the spells upgrades, right? That's cool. Yep. To do that, you need to buy horde/lore packs. Isn't that amazingly hilarious? That's just fantastic, isn't it? Here, let me show you something. Let me show you something, right? So I go over here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, they don't even have it out right now. I was gonna buy a Pharaoh's Horde pack because apparently that's what has what's it called, Spellements, but it's not out right now. But basically, my point is that okay, so certain spells are able to be in the future, they will be able to get dropped by skeleton key bosses, but what I want to say is that I want to stress with this video is that KingsIsle is not going about this the right way. I'm sure that you've heard this many times before, but no people have, as far as I know, I mean, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, I probably am wrong. Nobody that I've watched has talked about how to fix this system and what they should do instead. They've just kind of talked about how it's bad and why it's bad. The pay-to-win aspect is obviously not good, but like, how do you fix it? Okay, so my idea of how to fix this, how the best way to fix this would be to add more skeleton key bosses that are specifically designed to drop these spellements. These bosses should also be not easily beatable, but maybe have tiers. So for example, I'm trying to think, like, okay, so like a dungeon like the Pagoda Gauntlet, right? That scales to whatever the highest level is there. So for example, I go into the skeleton key boss, and then I'm level 5, so the boss is about level 10, right? And has like 400, 500 health. And then, you know, that's difficult, but not bad. And then, you know, level 20, it has like 1,000 to 2,000 health, and so on and so forth. And what it does is it creates this challenge to upgrade your spells, but it makes it so that it's not pay to win, which is the most bullshit part about it, is that you need to spend money to upgrade spells in this game. It's stupid for PvP, and it's stupid for PvE as well. And 2, it makes it so that it gives more of a challenge, more of something to farm for, gives someone something to think about and something to do. So one problem with this game that I've always had is replayability. It has a lot of replayability, but it's not infinite replayability. So for example, I have made probably 15 wizards throughout my life, and all of those, when I say 15 wizards, I mean like all that have gotten, you know, to a decent point, so like above level 70. Now, the thing about that is that you get to a point where you don't want to do it anymore. I have created a wizard so many times that it's virtually impossible for me to do Azteca and Chrysalis anymore. It's like literally agonizing for me, but I can still do it. Now, the problem is that KingsIsle right now, I think they're driven by the wrong purpose. They're driven by money and growing their game's kind of money system, right? So what I think they should be doing is what they should be focusing on right now is adding content in between worlds and in previous worlds in the times where they're not doing the big world update, right? Because they have a summer update, a November update, and then sometimes they have mini updates. What they should be doing is adding, say, 4 times a year, adding new content, fresh content to the other worlds, more side quests maybe, more things to do to give the game more flavor, more additions to it. So, to reiterate what I've said, what I want is I want bosses for each of the spellements. So maybe something like this, right? So in Firecat Alley, there's a boss called, I don't know, fucking Igneous Flame Torch. That actually is very close, I think, to the name of the Arcanum dude. But, right? And it's a fire boss who scales with your level, and he can drop all of the current fire spellements that are unlocked, which, if you don't know, are Firecat, Fire Elf, Krampus, whatnot, continuing so forth, right? And what that does is it makes a challenge. You still need to, say if you limit it to him dropping it 1 per battle, that still makes it so that you need to battle him 75 times, which is a big grind. 75 times is a lot. You could, as a level 10 wizard, you could probably get halfway to level 11 just by battling something 75 times. Most definitely. If you got 10 XP per battle, 750 XP, right? So what this does is it adds a way to challenge a player, to give the game more grindy aspects, which it already has with gear. But the thing about it is you do not need this. These are additions that are not necessary, but what they're doing, what they should be doing, is making it not necessary but accessible for everyone, so that it gives an interest and something to add. What they are currently doing is, it is something interesting, a new system, but it's only possible through payment, which is stupid, it's bullshit, and it really should be changed. So I've given my opinion on it. I want to know what your opinion is in the comments section. Let me know if this video, if anyone shares my opinion. I would love to link them in the description, because, you know, that would be cool. I think that what I said would be an interesting change. It would help a lot with what's currently going on, and it definitely would add something. So, like, for example, right, spellements are really interesting because they add an idea, right? They add something to work for. So, right, like, say as a storm, the meta would immediately, if they add a tempest spellement, obviously the meta would be to go for that. And they can't even really add that one that's that much powerful, but, like, at most they can make it like 95 per pip instead of 80, right? What I think is that they should do okay, let me add on to my idea, because I haven't genuinely thought about this before, but I'm adding on to it now that I'm interested in it, right? So say first world, if they have all those bosses I said, right? And they each can drop the first 3 levels of spellements. So the first 3 ranks of spells: Firecat, I'm talking about a fire example, by the way. Firecat, Fire Elf, and Sunbird. You can upgrade that from the first boss, right? And then in Crocotopia, you have another boss who can drop 1 for Meteor Strike, because that's level 20. You have one in Marleybone who can drop 1 for Phoenix, if you get to Phoenix. But basically what I'm saying is you make it scaled so that the world that you were in has a boss like that. And the reason why I said scaling, and it scales to your level, is to make it so that upper levels have an actual reason to possibly farm it for interest. Obviously upper levels are going to have a significantly less reason to do this, but I think that, you know, I think that this would add a more dynamic play style to the game. It would add interest to the game, and it would definitely help significantly. So for example, if I was a death, of course in the beginning of the game I would farm for Ghoul. Look at this, 160 damage and 70% health. That's a lot. And with an enchant, a monstrous, which is plus 175, by the way, for the treasure card, because you use treasure cards in the beginning of the game. I use treasure cards in the beginning of the game. That ups this damage to about 300 to 400. 70% is like a solid 250. That makes it so that this spell is a lot more powerful. It makes it something worth farming for. And I think that's really important. It adds dynamics to the game, adds something to the game. So I hope that, if you agree with me, I hope you you leave it in the comments. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, hit the sub button, and I'll see you in the next episode. I didn't actually get to 10 minutes. I don't care though. Goodbye.